Civilization or Barbarism, an Authentic Anthropology by Dr. Cheikh at Diop. Thus, following an external accident, one could, one could say that this unitary Roman Empire, governed according to one unique law, is going to split into two parts that will evolve into a divergent manner, one leading to modern capitalism and the other to the conversation of the same imperial structures frozen up to the dawn of modern times, if not up to our days. According to Giacomo Devoto, the linguistic considerations allow us to verify the two profoundly different modes of production marked on the one hand classical Rome with in the interval a period of decomposition and slow maturation, not only by a new socio-economic structure, but also by a new state of the language. In order to characterize the Latin language, one must start with rare and obscure texts prior to the 4th century order in order to speak of the proto-history of Latin. According to Perrine, Devoto distinguishes three periods. 1. The Etruscan royal period that corresponds to archaic Latin, already stabilized a commonly written language, even though there are no texts. 2 and 3. The obscure period of the Republic, 500 to 350 BCE, a phase of crisis during which Latin underwent more changes than it would undergo from 350 BCE to our times, meaning that today's Italian is closer to Plautus Latin than Plautus Latin is to what can be reconstructed as having been the Latin of the 6th century BCE. The mutation of 5 between 500 and 300 BCE corresponds to the cessation of the political and cultural coordination exercised by the Etruscan kings and to the class struggles between plebeians and patricians. This is an evolution comparable to that which took place in the transition from the Latin of the Imperial Roman epic to the French of the 11th century. After the destruction of the Roman Empire by barbarian invasions, this last evolution corresponds to the passage from the Roman slave mode of production at the beginning of the 5th century AD to the feudal mode of production in the 11th century. In German ideology, Marx, cited by Perrine, says that it is necessary to calculate the periods of the flooding of the Nile, which created Egyptian astronomy, and at the same time the domination of the sacerdotal caste in order to organize agriculture. The external natural conditions break down into two classes: the natural resources for a means of subsistence, soil fertility, waters abundant with fish, etc. The natural resources for a means of work, waterfalls, navigable rivers, metals, coal, etc. At the beginning of civilization, it is the first category of resources that prevails. At the end it is the second. Marx applies these considerations to Egypt. It is to the power of utilizing a considerable part of the population for unproductive works that ancient Egypt owes its great architectural works. But the use of generalized slavery for the development of the Nile Valley had a greater historical importance. I'm going to pause right there. Continue back with civilization or barbarism. I'm Uriel Riley. Highest heart.